Everyone. I'm having a problem getting things pulled together. Somehow, it said that the stream was deleted or something. It wasn't deleted. Let's do this to here. Book. Everything looked fine. I took work, I came back. So I put another one out, but who knows? Technical difficulties suck. Okay. Hi! I think I have this set on all messages. And I don't know if that's going to change anything or not. But anyways, here I am. So, hey, Beth. Oh, there's 3 people. Okay, woohoo. Okay, so a few people are finding me this morning. Man, I'm not at the cabin, but I'm still waiting. And it's still tracker stuff. And it's still freaking annoying. I mean, like, I'm tired of waiting. And the so phone's buffer already. Bummer. And you don't want to look at this ceiling in the track. So hang on. Let's see what I can. This is annoying. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can finagle this. Y'all get to hear me be frustrated with my funny little sounds I make. They remind me of my father. Okay, I know you're only hearing me, you're not seeing anything. But that's because I moved the phone just a little and it started buffering. And y'all know I'm only using my phone. It's not like, some of these other people. Let's see. 3 people, you yourself then. Yeah, you. That's all good though. Okay, so now I have it on the tripod, but the tripod's on my leg because we're plugged in. And I don't know what's wrong with this. I'm assuming it's the cable because if I wiggle it, it'll charge. But if I don't wiggle it, it doesn't charge. Anyway, I'm done with some of these things right now, but right as in I don't want to do anything else more frustrating. Anyways, let me come back. Those of you new people who are going to come in today, please get used to the idea that on my channel, you either have to give me a super chat, super thanks donation, or you have to put 3 uppercase Q's in front of whatever you've said for me to read it. Otherwise, I'm not even going to pay attention. So that's how that works. Yes, my hair's still very, very, very long. I am looking for somebody after the tracker stuff, but I'm looking for somebody to cut off the old history hair. Now, what that means is 4 years ago in Yuma, I let somebody put dye on my hair. I want that part cut off. My hair's way long. It's down below my waist. So it's fine. We'll just cut off the old junk and let it go. So, what will we talk about today? Am I going to Overland Expo? I won't have an answer until we finish the car. So, I've been waiting. How many times have I done videos? 1 video since I've been away from home, I think is right. I don't know. Anyway, I've been waiting on the mechanic. Well, sometime like Thursday, he finally told me what to order for parts. Oh, good Lord. So it's taken me all that time, all the waiting since the initial repair to find out that he wanted more parts ordered. They could have been on their way here. Deep breath. So I ordered them all Friday, just before the shop that I have to order from closed. And then we forgot a part. So now I got to wait till Monday and order one more part. And of course, it's the part that is the furthest up into the engine, not the last one. So I'm going to have to see if I can get it overnighted, and I'm almost out of money. Now, payday's coming up, but some of you who have done some of these lifestyles understand how this works. So, okay, so good morning, everybody. Yes, I went through some quick stuff, but I hadn't you. Good morning, James. You have a different name. I'm sorry. Someday I'll get it. Just right now, so Luke. So I thought that I'd show you a little bit about camp and about how I set up the tracker, and maybe I'll get you guys to help me with. I'm in a very, let's turn the camera around. I'm sitting in the front door. There's my legs. Yes, I bought camp shoe Crocs. No, they're not my favorite. I wish they were leather something, right? But I just needed something that was easy. I needed something that was easy to get on, socks or not. And they were $5 up the street. And that's what I did. Yes, I got myself a little step stool because I've been having an MS flare. And I brought my garden stool from the cabin, but I didn't bring a chair because I was hoping to get a chair while I was out here. Well, now with all the expenses I've had to maneuver, I don't know how a chair's happening for a while, but this is what you see. Okay? Like almost nothing. My screens are great. You might see a few gnats right now because in the morning before it gets hot, then there's these little gnats. Anyways, they're not too bad. Okay, let me see. What can I turn you around? Yes, I still have some of my I traveled before things on the ceiling in here because it's carpet. It's easy to put the Velcro things on. Yes, inside the tracker is pretty busy. Okay? But it's okay. And I didn't make my bed all the way up this morning because I had a decision to make about this auto part thing because the mechanic finally this morning finally read a message I sent days ago, and he said, yes, you should order that part. And I went, oh, I wish you had answered me Friday afternoon. I might have been able to finagle to get the guy, right, to to um to have that come with all the other parts, but it's okay. Like I said, I'm gonna be squeaking on pennies to try to get that part and the seal it'll take for the part, and the shipping, and if I have to have it overnighted. I'm so I'm so close on money, pardon me. I don't know if I got enough to do it, but I'll squeak by. Sometimes it happens like that. All right. So, for those of you who are new, you can look back and find history about me. I have traveled in many different vehicles over the years, and I actually prefer smaller vehicles, partly because they force me to be outdoors. And I didn't know until 3 years ago. I did not know that I had an autoimmune disease. And the one that I have is called multiple sclerosis, or MS. It's very different for many people, but it basically is where the myelin, which is like the white cobwebby stuff that holds your gray matter together in your brain, and it's also the same thing that like sends electronic signals to your spinal column and your nervous system. Your body starts attacking it, and it starts to not act right. A very common thing that we have happen, but everybody's a little different. For me, it's basically my left side is more affected than anything else. They found it because I was out here not far from where I am today, and I had run a big um, Thanksgiving dinner event. Um, I made sure all the food was prepared, and served about 400 community people, as well as homeless people, as well as van lifers out here in the desert. And then a couple of hours later, as I was starting to relax, I didn't feel good. And I ended up on the ground outside my rig for about 5 hours. Um, Nobody saw me, or if they did, they walked over me. I was paralyzed and couldn't speak for a number of days. Well, it was nearly a week before I could talk, but I could move my eyeballs. So I communicated by heaven. People that were smart enough would say, okay, I'm going to ask you yes and no's. Move your eyes that way or that way, right? And that's how I was communicating. Anyways, that turned into quite a kerfluffle, but whatever. For me, a kerfluffle, because somebody told everybody I was fine and I had left, and I was there and sick and unable to speak or walk or take care of myself. It took me almost a month to get myself to Yuma, where I finally started seeing doctors. And Candy and Rick, thank God for Candy and Rick, they took me to the doctor's appointments. The doctors put me straight into, well, from the emergency room first to the stroke ward for 6 days. And then I had doctor's appointments for a couple of months. They thought I'd had a stroke. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And the neurologist kept just saying, oh, you're mentally ill. You don't have anything wrong with you. And I'm like, but my foot won't move. Yeah, maybe you got MS, but I can't see it. 2 years later, those tests got read. And when they got read 2 years later, that doctor said, there's no way you've got MS. And then he looked at the CDs that I had with all the MRIs and everything on it. And he came back and he goes, I can't believe it. I have to tell you, you have MS, because in the DSM book, this plus this equals MS, but you don't act like MS. So that's how I got a diagnosis. And so now I understand better why sometimes when I have been out at different events or around camping in the Southwest, why I have been walking along and fell down and people thought I was sleeping on the ground. And it was like, isn't that dangerous? Wouldn't you? I would have checked on somebody. I wouldn't step over them. And I had, yeah. Anyway, so, um, so I have MS. I'm out here. I'm having a flare. Uh, it's been worse. I mean, oh, I ate sardines the other day, thinking, well, I could only. Okay, so when I got the new engine back in the tracker, then it had an oil leak from the get go. And the guys at the shop had said, well, you just don't check your oil. Well, yes, I do. Well, then it's a quart. How could it be a quart? Oh, it just always had an oil leak. So if Jeremy comes on or Jeremy listens to this, it's always had an oil leak since I got it back. That's all I got to say. I don't know why. I didn't build it. I can climb under, but I had a hunch it was the oil pan gasket because I had a hunch that the wrong one was installed. Anyway, I finally got to where I found somebody I could afford to pay to do the oil pan gasket. So I drove 7 hours away from where I live to be in line to get this guy to work on my rig. So I came down. And I've been camping, and if you watched some things, you might have seen the short or a couple of things with the tent that was falling down, and that was a week or two ago. Whatever. My time is all different, right? Because a lot, it feels like a lot's happened. And, anyways, so he was able to get in, and he found that yes, my oil pan um, gasket was the incorrect one and incorrectly installed. And he said, I've used lots of RTV. I don't know what that stuff was that was on there. And he showed it to me, and it was like baby blue, and it was weird. But anyways, and he said I had to scrape it off with a razor blade. I could not get this stuff off. So then so we so he replaced the he did the correct RTV on the oil pan for the gasket. RTV is silicone gasket maker, but it was a special kind that you use for trackers and Suzuki's. So he did that. And while he was working on things, he realized that my oil pan was bad and had holes in it, like open holes. One big hole had been attempted to be patched with like JB Weld or something, but it had also sprung a leak. So we bought a new oil pan and put a new oil pan on. So I paid him for that job, and he said, I got a hunch it's still leaking, so don't go far. I was like, okay. He said, check the oil all the time. And so that's what's been happening. And I did, and I have been, and it's still leaking. And he said it was in his humble opinion, with everything he looked at, he's 90% sure that it's the crankshaft pulley, is what he called it. Now, from what I understand from some Suzuki experts, that the crankshaft pulley means it's like the oil pump or something. And in order to have it seal correctly, you've got to have a metal gasket, not like an OEM metal gasket. Anyways, so the place to order them from is Trail Tough. I didn't know that. So now the order's coming Monday for those parts. But he was concentrating on working on other people's stuff. So I didn't know what to order. I didn't know what to think. I wasn't sure. I was just waiting. And so during this week, I finally got the information to go ahead and order this. I need you to order this. Okay, no problem. Well, I didn't think of it until Sabbath morning. And I went, wait a minute. If he's getting in there and doing all of that stuff, and he's going to look at the timing belt cover because it's either warped or the wrong one, why didn't we order a timing belt cover? So I asked him, and I got the answer this morning. So tomorrow morning, I've got to order a timing belt cover. I actually have it on good information that Trail Tough has one. So uh, I'm still a few days out of him getting back under and working more on my rig to complete whatever this oil leak is. So we are now waiting on parts, and I feel dumb that I didn't order it when I ordered everything else on Friday, but it's the way it is. And there must be some reason, because that's the way it seems the world works. So I'm almost out of money. Like, I think I have $10 in Cash App. I might have $25 in PayPal. And I have almost nothing in my bank account. The part I've got to order is $99. And then I have to order the seal or the gasket that goes with it. No idea how much that is, but seals and gaskets tend to be like $17, I hope. And then if I have to overnight it, I don't know if I got enough money, but I'm hoping I have enough. But I'm not all the way sure. And I get paid Tuesday, okay? But I don't want to wait till Tuesday, because that leaves us a whole nother day longer that I'm waiting. And the waiting's getting hard, okay? It's not impossible. And yes, I've had to work on my health while I've been out here. I had been walking Wendy 3 times a day. Now, I couldn't yesterday at all. I think it's because I ate those sardines. I hadn't eaten any in a while, and they were not packed in olive oil. And I just closed my eyes and I ate them because it's what I could get. Now, I don't like sardines. I like mackerel, but I don't like sardines. And I was like, oh God, this is like choking something down. And then, don't you know, 10 minutes later, I looked like the Michelin Man. Like, so I couldn't see I had joints in my knuckles. Okay? I mean, they were fat and round, and it was bad. It was really bad. And they couldn't walk. So Wendy had to walk herself yesterday, and she did really good. She's such a good girl. But that was beyond hard. And it's been pretty hot for about 3 days. And I do better with like moderate temperatures, not too cold, not too hot. And it's very hard for me to be stuck inside, either with the wood stove or heat because it's cold, or with air conditioning because it's hot. I just would rather be in a median temperature location because I feel better, and I'm healthier when I'm outdoors because I walk better and stuff. And as much as I love to knit, it annoys me because you almost have to sit to knit. And I don't want to. I just don't want to. And the sitting makes MS worse, okay? Because it doesn't take long when you've had to be inside a while and there's no reason. And it doesn't take long, and your muscles my muscles with MS start to mess up. And then it's real hard to start to walk. Anyways, it's a thing. It's a thing. So let me go back and see what you guys are commenting on, or are you just listening to me right now? Let's go back a little bit. Here we go. Beth is saying, similar here. I have very high Epstein bar type reading, and yet I don't act like I have Epstein bar. Yeah. Oh boy, don't we? We're very similar. Rocket Van Life. Hey man. Good morning. You know I'm a dummy, true self-diagnosed myself on YouTube. It said dumbass. LOL. Okay, I read it. Rockin' Van Life. Shadow Wolf. Um, okay. So, do you guys have questions this morning? I'm gonna let's see if I can figure out again without getting us in trouble. I know I can do some green screen. So, and somewhere on here isn't there a oh, it's I think it's down there. Right, green screen. So this is the part I forgot to order. And it's $99. That's the part I forgot to order. This is where Wendy is right now. She's in her little playpen with her rug. She understands that very well. When she and I worked at the shop, that was what she had outside the shop. Now I'm wanting to change that playpen for a different shape now that we're out. And I just got the new window screens for the front of the tracker. By the way, any of you with larger pickup trucks or vans that want this kind, wait a minute, my head's in the way, that want this kind of window screens, they're the double ones that are like a pillowcase you pull over. Let me know because these, I think they were only $13. I had to cut my own hole in them for the mirror. And I do need to stitch around that, make like an edging so it won't rip. But I'm just glad those little gnats or flies during the day can be annoying. Okay, so that's that. What else am I going to show you? My green screen. I'm trying to get my head out of the way. Oh, this is inside the tracker. I didn't know if I was going to show you that or not. But I get my head out of the way. I don't know how to get my head out of the way. Oh, there we go. Turn it that way a little bit. Okay, so that's when you look in on the passenger seat. My passenger seat folds flat backwards. That's what I do to make my bed, and I sleep on top of the seat because I sometimes take people for a ride, and I want to be able to continue to do that. And so that's my bed with my old sleeping bag. It's an ancient sleeping bag. But the zipper's on the right side, and I hardly ever zip it up. I use it like a blanket. And underneath of me, I have a King Camp cot mattress, but it's really thin, but it has rubberized dots on the back so it doesn't slide. That's helpful. That white bin that you see to the right is actually my clothes, and Wendy sleeps on top of it. It's a very similar thing I did with Ozzy in my old SUV. And then behind that is a food bin and cooler bags and, dog food and stuff like that. What's this one? I forgot what I took pictures to show you. Oh, that's supposed, I think, yeah, that was me lifting up the blankets to show you how the seat folds backwards. I don't think you can see it well. I'm going to move on. And then, like right now when I'm in camp, I don't have any tarps up. I just have the back window open and all the windows are open inside. All the screens are kind of open. Now I'm just sitting in the doorway. So, but this is camp and this is camp. But we're going to do a should I buy this? This is an REI tailgate something. It's $200. Of course, I can't afford it right now with the tracker expenses, but it's attached to, in these pictures, attached to a Subaru. So I'm thinking that that size is better. Should I get that? I'm kind of thinking that would be really nice. Now I don't have roof rails, so I think I would have to use those little suction cups that go on glass. That's what I'm thinking. Or the glass handles that glass installers use. They're also suction cups, but they're different because I could put them on the metal of the roof. Anyways, that's what I'm wondering. Should I get that? But it is like a couple hundred, $199. I can't afford it right now. And then it's, should I get that one or should I get this one? And maybe I want both for different things, but I don't think I could carry them both. And this one, this is what it really looks like set up. Oh, you can't see it good. Okay, that's a picture I took from one of Lone Wolf's videos. This one I'm showing. What happened to my? What happened to my green screen stuff? This one is a tent, and the tent flap can open up, and you can have a clear plastic window zip on. And but it's a tent, so it's separate from the car. I don't know. I totally kind of lean toward not having it attached to the car. But there's sometimes when having a whole tent in camp might be nice. For like Zuki-Palooza, which I really want to go to Zuki-Palooza. But first I got to find out about the car. Then I got to see whether I'm actually going to make it to Overland Expo in Flagstaff. But it's all hinging on these car repairs that I'm waiting on right now that should get started this week. And I think I've been really patient waiting on the mechanic to finish a couple of really hard jobs, and then challenging. And then he needed a break, and then I found out that I should have already ordered parts, but I didn't know what to order, and so now we're going to wait on parts. But hopefully this solves all those issues and we'll be done. So let me go see what you guys are saying, because I see some more 3 uppercase Q's, people, is how more buffering, and I'm having a hard time. I don't really have a good place to set the tripod right now, so I'm trying to just balance it on my leg. Beth, yes, the tailgate shelter. Both would be great, but it depends on whether you want to be enclosed or just covered. I know that tailgate shelter just makes sense to me because it's on a smaller car. So I'm thinking yes to that one. But I like both ideas for different situations. So, but I think Well, one, it's a little less expensive as well. Um, and it would give a little cover, a little shade, a little, it's whatever. Anyway, so I'm probably going to get that. Um, Leanna, are your MS symptoms easing up any today? Yes. I'm not as swollen. I can walk around. I can bend my knee again. Both knees. I couldn't bend my knees for the last 2 days. Okay. Um, I'm not stumbling on the check out these rocks. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Check out these rocks. I'm not stumbling on these rocks, which is the floor of the campsite right now. Um, I noticed something else that I'd been. So, I haven't been drinking coffee for a few days. Not that I won't drink coffee, but I noticed the last time I went to a gas station and I got cold brew coffee, I liked it better. And I just put it on ice, and that's all I did. Just ice a black cold brew. And I was like, I used to make cold brew. I don't want to do all that stuff when I'm out here and struggling with my MS stuff. And anyway, so I can see my veins in my hand today. You can see my joints. My fingers are like half the size they were yesterday. I can move them. Um, I feel a little like queasy ish, like, but it might be the bone broth I tried to drink this morning. And I read the ingredients as I was drinking them, and I was like, I haven't been having all those ingredients either. So it was a packet of bare bones broth, beef bone broth. And they weren't cheap. Eight of them was $10. And I thought, well, at least I get a bone broth in the car. And I read the ingredients list before I bought them. And for some reason, I thought they'd be okay. But there's stuff like celery and carrots and onion in them. And for, that's all I've had since 2 o'clock yesterday. Why? Because I ate the rest of the cooked up meat I had yesterday. And it's like, ooh, oh, there's mushrooms in it too. Anyways, I just was like, ooh, why, why did I think that was going to be okay? So, anyways, I'm probably not going to have any more of those, and I'm probably not going to have any more of the coffee I have with me. Now, that doesn't mean I'm never going to have coffee again because I love it. But I got to get my health straightened out again first, and something went wrong, and I mean wrong. Like I could hardly walk. Um, I had to. Okay, so I had strawberries a week ago Wednesday. And it was either Wednesday or Thursday morning. I woke up with this horrible stomach pain. I had to poop like right then. Now TMI, but I have a autoimmune, and sometimes people want to know things. So TMI, but whatever. Um, and I was like, well, I could get ready and do it right here in camp, but I need to go to town for something else. Let me pack everything up really quick, and then I'll go use the bathroom at the gas station up the street. It's maybe a mile away. I got up there. I got in the bathroom. I'm trying to decide what words to describe this. The quick words to describe it is poopy pants. The second words are explosive. I don't know. But it was full of strawberry seeds. And that was a week before it came out. Now, I've always been a little bit, I either am like this, like it either takes a long time for something to come out, or I have immediate IBS symptoms. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. That was English. So it's either one of the two. And if I have vegetables, now not avocados and not blueberries, but if I have anything else, you can bet I'm going to be straight in the bathroom within like 3 minutes. And it's really annoying. I just want to be normal. I just want to be able to like go to a restaurant and eat with friends. I just want to be able. That's why I started drinking coffee again. When I've been off coffee many years at different times for months, years, one time 5 years. Didn't drink coffee at all. The reason I brought it back was I want to go do things with my friends, and they all know I can't eat, so I never get invited. So if I can at least have coffee with them, I'll go have coffee while they eat, right? I don't know. I don't. I've been starting to. So I'm making a list in my journal about, you know, which things I know I'm safe with for foods and which foods I know will do other things. I'm also making lists of, but what do I want life to look like, right? Because I've been stuck 3 years with this engine thing, car thing, and I didn't get much choice. But even just going grocery shopping with somebody else, riding in the car, the two dogs having fun and being pals, it was nice. Even if I don't spend much time with people, some of that's kind of nice. So, I don't know. So I've also been starting to explore, can I afford to get coaching from one of these carnivore diet people or somebody who's seemingly have had issues like me that I've watched videos from? Well, one of them's $1,500 a month. I get $1,000 a month. I can't afford those people. So nope, can't do that. Hunted through most all of them. It looks like I could pay Kelly Hogan to be in one of her groups. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know the answer. But then I found um, Luna. What's her name? That she wrote a cookbook, a carnivore cookbook. Anyways, Courtney Luna, and I was like, well, she has a free Facebook group, so I got in that, but I haven't had a chance to like explore things out there. Um, but the one thing I did like about her information was that she doesn't get mad at people if an avocado works for them and they want to eat avocado. See, and some of the other people, they're very strict and they're very much, well, one of them emailed me a few times, and it seemed like she was very much doing this, well, you have to do blah, blah, blah. You know what? I've already tried that and it doesn't work. But you didn't ask me what I tried, you know. And I was like, I don't seem to be able to do this, but I could do XYZ. And she's, well, you shouldn't do the XYZ. It's all I could do. I so don't. And then she said, well, I paid that person who was $1,500 a month. Oh, I paid her to be my coach for 2 years. Well, good for you. That's why you don't understand, because you can't understand being poor, be able to afford to do what you're doing. And you don't understand camping in a car and not having a refrigerator because you can't afford the refrigerator or the solar to run it or to replace it if something went wrong. You don't get it. So those things come into my decisions. But I have been exploring those things because I don't think we were meant to be one kind of diet specific for humans. I think there's a lot of variety for each person. And honestly, I do fine with avocados and I do fine with olive oil. I don't do fine on much tallow. I'm not saying it's not good for me, but I don't do good on it. And I did really good with blueberries. I struggle with the dairy off and on. I don't know, but I'm kind of aiming back for, let me get back to just real meat, that not ground beef in a tube, because it makes me want to vomit. um and I don't know why, it just gives me that feeling. And I'm like, I don't know why, but if the real sick on it. So I will try to get real of meat. And well, I used to because it fits my little pans when I'm out for cooking for one. I used to just cut them in little chunks and then stir fry them and it just worked. And it's like, I don't even have to think about it. So I'm probably going back there. It's not cheap, but I got to eat. I got to do something. So if I fast a little bit or whatever, it's what's happening. But oh, the day I had to go to the bathroom at the gas station, nothing was going right for me that morning. Everything I tried to do, the laundromat was closed. The laundromat had been closed ever since I'd been here, so like 2 solid weeks. And I was like, well, now that I've had this accident at the gas station that was like, how do I get back to the car? How do I don't have any clean clothes in the car. How do I deal with this? I had to really talk to myself, sitting in the bathroom at the gas station, really talk to myself about, and what would I do back when I was hiking on the Appalachian Trail? What would I have done because I had some similar circumstances out there? Well, luckily out there, I was able to get to a pond. I was able to get some water, wash clothes, hung in the hammock for 2 days, vomited, whatever, just didn't eat. I was very sick on the AT. Anyway, and then when I felt like I could try to strike out again, I would move a little bit, and then I would be like, well, I should have stayed where I was. But, I still got right to the edge of Virginia before they put me in the hospital. Um, from so I got thinking about what would I've done, because limited stores, limited access to a lot of things, haven't struggling to walk, all that. And I was like, wait, there's a Family Dollar. Go see it, go find some clothes. And so I went, and I didn't have the budget planned for it, but I went ahead and I bought clothes at Family Dollar. No, they are not 100% cotton. No, they are not any natural fibers at all. But that's when I bought these $5 Crocs for camp shoes, because it was like, I'm struggling to lift my leg enough to put my shoes on. It was that bad a week ago. So I feel much better today and I hope it just continues. But I'm going to go back to as clean a diet as I can do, and real meat. I mean, I can't see what else is going to work right now. I don't know whether the cans of mackerel and olive oil are going to be okay, but I will find out this afternoon because I have 12 cans, 11 cans of mackerel in olive oil. So I will try that this afternoon to see if I'm okay with that. Mostly because it's all I have for food right now. And so that and water, and we'll see what happens. And if it's okay, then I'm all right for a few days. And if not, then I will water fast a few days. Um, I need to get water, but I think I've decided that today we're out since I need to order that other part tomorrow morning. We'll wait till tomorrow to go out. And then Tuesday, I'm supposed to meet an old friend who was one of the mechanic buddies who encouraged me to get a tracker in the first place. Um, and he's not pulling wrenches, but he's camping. He comes down as a snowbird from New Mexico, and often he has been at my place to camp. But we're going to meet down here. He offered to buy me lunch. Who knows if that's even possible, but anyway, so that's where we're going. So, are my MS symptoms easing up? I read that one. That was Leanna. I hope I answered that pretty good. Catherine, hi. She's saying, good morning, Lesa, Beth, Shadow Wolf, gonna be 73 today. My doors, windows are open. In my living areas are open. Wonderful. 73. Catherine's not too far from where my cabin is. So, wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. So, I bet BK, being Miss Bobby Kitty, um, back at the cabin, I bet she's happy to have nice warm weather. She probably misses us. I keep hearing from my house sitter, cat sitter person, I keep hearing good things that she's huggy, lovey, and doing well. So that's. I shipped a box home. I realized, well, I had brought a few things with me that I was hoping I would get figured out for using, but I didn't want to buy them again. So when I found out that the post office could ship a box for, okay, flat rate would have been $30 to ship, and the box was kind of small. So once I went in with what I actually had, the biggest thing, the girl said, try that box there. That box is $2 and something to buy. She said, and then let's weigh it. And it was only going to be like $15 or $17 to ship that box. I was like, let's do that box. So it was cheaper to not do the flat rate. But I sent a box home. First time. First time ever sending a box home. But so grateful that I can and that I could afford it. And that means I don't have to buy that stuff again. Even though I'm sure somebody would have loved to have had a donation, I've given away enough for a minute. So that's that. So what else is going on? What else does anybody want to know about? I feel like I did just talk. I mean, that's what I do, right? I've been thinking about, well, see, I have been thinking about a bunch of stuff. But what I started to say, let me not say what I was going to say. Let me say this other thing instead. I have to wait. I feel very much like I have to wait until the tracker engine work is complete before I make any new plans, ideas, anything. And I have a bunch of stuff on my mind, um, and first we get this oil leak taken care of. Then during that time, I'm pretty certain that G is going to get himself moved closer to a doctor because he needs his stuff taken care of. And I can't be the one to help him right now, unfortunately. But then, I don't know when St. Patrick's Day is. When is St. Patrick's Day? The middle of this month? I don't have any way to look it up without messing up the live stream. So, but the friends in Yuma offered to help me paint the fiberglass removable roof because they've done it before and they know how to do it so it won't end up peeling. So they said after St. Patrick's Day, or around St. Patrick's Day. So I'm thinking that I should probably go ahead and go down there and get that done. The weather stripping for the back windows, Rally Tops, which is a truck topper company, makes these toppers that I have. Mine is a first gen, so they don't make it like this one anymore. And when I talked to them originally, back when I first got the tracker, they had said, yours is put on right. Don't ever take that off. Because, yeah, I could take off the front part, but they were like, just don't take off the back part because it's on there right. And if somebody screws it up, it'll fly off on the highway. And I was like, whoa, okay. Well, we'll leave it right where it is. So when I contacted them about the weather strip, and they were like, oh yeah, let me get that for you. Well, so I checked in with them Friday when I was ordering auto parts to see what was happening. And they said they had to call the supplier and then call me back. The guy that they've been trying to reach is on vacation, so he'll be in next week. So then we ought to be able to start getting that weather stripping ordered so that the back windows will stop leaking. So that's where that stuff's at. And this mechanic would have put it in. Possibly this other guy, the friends and St. Patrick's Day kind of thing. They might know how to do it as well, so we might be able to figure it out. But that's what I'm thinking. And I know G really wants me to go up and help him, but I have to take care of me and my tracker before I can help another person. As much as I want to help, gonna have to do the best they can for themselves. I mean, I feel bad about all of that, but he needs to be somewhere by Wednesday, and we're going to be working on my car on Wednesday. So I can't be the person. So sometimes this stuff happens. Okay, let me check messages again. Oh, read that one. Okay, let me come back. Sanders is going to be 71 today. We do have wind coming tomorrow with 40-mile-an-hour gusts. Yeah, that's pretty normal. And Leanna, St. Patrick's is 2 weeks from this Tuesday. I had a hunch. So if the car gets fixed this week, then next week I'll go down to work on painting the roof, because I need to take advantage of those offers while I've got them. And I just have to concentrate on that and making sure my health is okay. And so that whatever food I'm eating is not making me sick. That and walking. And so the 3 walks a day is the goal because I was doing pretty good. And I have a out on one of the other roads behind me, dirt roads behind me. I have a fire pit that I've been working at. When I first started walking, I was like, let's get to the fire pit. Well, I couldn't quite make it. So then I got to the fire pit. Then it was, let's walk past the fire pit to the little wash beyond the fire pit. That's been my little marker for each time I go out. And I know it's not very far. It's not like I'm walking miles. No. But I'm moving and I'm walking. And so now yesterday I couldn't because I couldn't move my knee. And today I'll be tired after I talk to you guys. And then Wendy and I will get in a walk. We'll try to do 2 walks today. Now I'm noticing as my leg is hanging down, I'm sitting up on the seat, on the bed, with my legs outside the door. And I can see that my toes are starting to swell a little bit. So, yeah, I'll have to be careful of that. And Beth is saying daylight saving is next Sunday, so all the clocks will be going forward an hour, except for mine. And yes, Catherine, I did finally just set my phone on Arizona time, so it won't change on me. Yep. But so you guys will have a change in when I'm out here to talk on Sundays coming up. Oh, Catherine, did you get that solar panel put back up on the roof? So, friends are friends are so silly. They're all texting me while I'm on the live right now. Stop texting me while I'm on the live. You'll kick me off. Anyway, I'll get back to them in a little bit. So, I could see that one. I think that was G, and he's not out here on the live. He's like thinking about something. He texted me twice, but one of them looked like I could cash app you a little bit until Tuesday. I was like, oh, you know what? That would help. I might take him up on that. And you all know I don't like to borrow money, but if it's just like overnight like that, oh yeah, I would. So I will get with him on that. But I also know that he's doing it because he really wants me to help him. And I want to help him, but I can't help him right this second. I got to take advantage of these opportunities to fix my situation. And sometimes that's hard to do because I don't want to screw up. I don't want to screw up relationships because I need to take care of myself. But honestly, geez, it's been 3 years. I couldn't even come out here because things were messed up. And dang, if it was to rain, I'm screwed. Because Wendy and I are getting wet and all our stuff. So I got to fix these things. And I got to fix them while I have the opportunity. That doesn't mean that I don't care at all. But it means I do have to be careful. Wendy, where's my drink? And I decided since I've been okay with mint tea, peppermint tea recently, a month ago or so, I tried it. And so I'm having peppermint tea. Yes, in a tea bag, organic something. I think it came from Safeway. Anyway, but I'm having tea. Because it's anti-inflammatory, I'm trying to keep the things that I've known for years were okay. Except that for a short time they weren't. And like I've always for years and years, I was okay with peppermint tea. And then I got really, really sick and I couldn't even have it. But I can now, so I'm gently using it. Very thin. Yes, very watered down. Nope, we have to buy a new one. Okay. Did you still have the links to the roof vents so that you were able to order a new roof vent yet? Catherine. Um, because those roof vents, they're pretty simple to put in. Boy, I've never checked the price, but you know that new one that Chrome is using, it comes with lights on it and has the fan in it and a couple of things. That's a nice one. I don't know what it cost. I've never checked the cost, but that's a nice. I like that one. You have to buy a new one, okay? Yes, Leanna, that's why I'm doing it because it's anti-inflammatory and it does settle things. But that's the first time I had some this morning after I had one of those bone broths and realized don't do that anymore. So much for those. I'll give those away. Yes, they're coming this week. RV stores here are too much. Yes, I agree. Ordering them off Amazon is much more reasonable. Sholo's expensive. Yeah. Mm, for RV things. But that's because a lot of the people up in Sholo are retirees, not RVers. So, and well, see, I get paid Tuesday, but it'll be probably Wednesday that we'll get working on the car. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm just thinking about this. That means how am I going to get groceries? I'm going to have to finagle something so that I get to go shopping before he tears the car down. Because then it could be a day or two or three, depending on how hot it is. It's supposed to be cooler tomorrow, though. I think. I didn't look this morning. Oh, go away, bug. Um, I didn't look this morning at the weather. I usually do. But I think it's supposed to be cooler tomorrow. So if that works, then some parts are coming tomorrow. Then payday. And if I overnight the part, we're going to want to wait for that part before he tears the car apart. So that's like Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. And Tuesday, the friend is supposed to meet me at the gas station for lunch. And then I better go grocery shopping and make sure I have water. Well, I'm going to have to do water tomorrow. But anyway, then we should pay for a little bit. Oh, and Catherine, I'm seeing that about the solar panels and The Santan thing. Yeah, Santan's in Phoenix. So often I think what Catherine is getting is a lot of the neighbors go to Santan from up in our area. And so often what a lot of us lower income people are able to do in our area up there is if we buy used panels, but they've all come from Santan because the neighbor probably goes to Santan to buy solar panels. And then when they replace theirs are cheap. So, or sometimes they're just cheap because they went and bought a trailer load. So that one fly, um, I don't know. What am I thinking? Oh, I put my head down because I was thinking. Uh, Beth, I figured the source of the low cost panels were Santan. Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and Randy, the Suzuki expert that's been given the mechanic and I advice and stuff along the way, which is the sports car looking thing, little dinky one. He had driven it to from Washington State. I don't think he's in Oregon. I think he's in Washington. Anyway, he had driven it to Apache Junction, which is down near Phoenix, and um, his um, his grandmother passed away but had a place down there. So he was down there for a while and then he had to go home. So he was on his way home last night, broke down between Vegas and the Hoover Dam and had to replace an alternator and do a couple of things. So he's tired. And he owns a shop, so he'll be at work tomorrow most likely, but he's probably tired. Pray for him. But he got himself, he's back on the road. He's fine. Yeah, what's he selling the extra IBC totes for? I don't know that. Well, if they were super cheap, I guess I could get a couple more, but um, my next I have two bigger investments I need to make at the cabin. And the two big ones I need to do are I need to have the cabin painted and I need to get the gutters installed. And if I don't have more IBC totes, it's okay because I have three. But getting the gutters on is going to be an investment that I've got to make ASAP. And it could, now that I'm starting to say that, that could be a in the spring when we're back and somebody wants to come visit and help. It could be one of those kind of projects. But I do need to uh, get the gutters on the cabin and I need to get the cabin painted. Those two things are, there's little repairs. But, and I was blessed with the gift of two of my water tanks. I have IBC totes, so I was blessed with two IBC totes. That was awfully nice of that person. Um, And then my original one I had is a smaller tank. It's a 275. And my 275, I don't remember how much money I paid for that. I paid quite a. Oh, I traded the. That was a trade. That was a barter deal I did to get the other one, because I'd had that 1,500-gallon tank, but the hunters were target practicing at it, so that was a problem. So I'd love to have a 600-gallon water tank. Five, six. Okay, yeah, 5 or 600 gallon, and to put it like behind the shower house. There's a spot there where the sand, the ground is kind of soft, and we could dig down a foot or two so it would be just a little shorter, so you couldn't see it very much, and it could be hidden, and that would be kind of nice. Yeah, and that's Luke, right? It's not uppercase Q's, but I'm reading it anyways. Um, you were looking at a 1,000-gallon tank. Water tanks are a penny a gallon, so it's going to cost you. Am I saying that right? Yeah, it's going to cost you $1,000 for $1,000 tank. Yes, my small one is a 275. My big ones are 330-gallon. And I have covers on mine. I spend $30 on zippered covers for my IBC totes. They're they have the silver on the inside of them, and then I keep trying to order light color ones, but I keep getting black colored ones. So for now, they're black. Um, but yeah, my next big thing is to get at the cabin is to get the paint and the gutters. The gutters, yeah. Oh, $1 a gallon. Yeah. Sorry. And I already bought most of them. Well, I bought the long pieces, the 10-foot long pieces of new gutter for the cabin. I did not buy all the connector pieces that you glue together. I did not buy all the stuff I'm going to need to attach that to the side of the cabin, but it was like while I had somebody with a truck that was willing to go, I had enough money at the time. I was like, bring those long pieces for the gutters, and then the little stuff I can pick it up whenever I need it, and we'll start working on getting those installed. But that's so helpful because we get rain or snow or whatever, and it fills tanks quickly, and so it's kind of important to have that at the cabin. I can't, I can't afford a well at $50,000 or whatever it costs up where we are. Yes, Luke, that is true. It is cheaper in the long run to get a 1,000-gallon tank. The deal is out where we are, Luke. Um, the the delivery trucks are usually 1,000-gallon tank, and they want to bring you your water in one trip, and they don't want to split it with anybody. So they're only going to bring so much at a time. And yeah, generally they want you to buy 1,000 gallons at a time. Generally, hmm I know a couple of people that have been really good about if I ever need water, they'll help me. they'll help me get a smaller amount if I need it. So I pay for it. I don't, and I pay them. I'm not. I'm not getting for free. They help me. I help them. But I want to figure out my garden space. I have more work to do on that garden space when I get back to. I started to, I was working on my mini root cellar. And then I was like, I don't know how I'm ever going to get that done. If I can hardly walk, how the hell am I going to get that built? And so I started to go, well, maybe I should give that up and do something else with it. Because it can't eat anything that's got to be stored anyway. So what's the point, right? So I don't know, but I'll keep messing with my garden space because I'll plant medicine plants and herbs, and because the bugs and the bees and the whatever are pretty and it's worth it anyway. So all right guys, I don't know what else to talk about. What would you guys like me to talk about today? Anything? Or are we done? Because I caught you up. I don't know what else to talk about. I'm not doing anything fun or fancy, but I don't feel like any of that's going to happen until after the tracker engine repairs. And I haven't wanted to. All caught up is good, okay. Um, I haven't wanted to do videos or anything because I think I'm processing a lot. Um, I tend to watch Chrome, used to be Van City Van Life. I know he's a different income level, business level, everything than I am. I get it. He's very different. Um, I never have been around people like him much. Anyway, but he was talking about something the other day, which was something I was thinking about putting out as a video myself, and I may at some point. But the whole van life. Okay, so van dwelling, you know, it's been through how many changes over the years, right? And it's not what it was anymore. And there's big homeless, icky communities out here that are just yuck. Well, you saw that video, and I couldn't believe it out in Ehrenberg, all the burnt out cars further out. They used to only be up by the highway, and now they're down where people are camping. And the campsites that are sprawled out and nasty, and then there's the few people far out, which is I'm way far out. Um, that's just a van with a chair, nothing much. Um, or a truck camper or whatever. And it's the culture is changing again. So, all right. Well, if we're all caught up and all good for today, I love you all. I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. See, I do feel a little better, Leanna. Um, please remember to pray for everybody in our groups and outside. Pray for the mechanic and for my parts to come quickly without any hassle. And for the ease of my health improvement, because it I've been exhausted with it's hard to do anything. And I'm better. I'm better. Yes, next week, people, you adjust your timing. I'm still going to be 9:30 Arizona time. So you check, since it's going to be daylight savings, you check what your time is going to be when my time is 9:30. Okay? You all have a great week. Ciao.